Again, the raised hand feature to ask a question, and we'll go to Matt DeMarinis first.
Hey, DJ. UConn came in here with a lot of they've been playing really well, and I think a lot of people probably thought they were the favorites at least to win this league based on how the season ended for everybody. Did you guys take that stuff to heart at all? Were you guys playing for more than just a chance to go to tomorrow night? Was this pride on the line a little bit tonight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We got a group chat with us and the coaches, and they was just sending us tweets about what everybody was saying, who the favorite to win Big East conference championship, and everybody was saying it was going to be UConn, and we took pride towards that, and everybody said that just fuel to the fire, and I feel like we came out there, we played like it was fuel, and we used it as fuel, I should say.
Gino Green. Gino, you're next.
All right. What was it like to have to overcome that early deficit at 13-2 and to have to play at UConn's pace and to be able to overcome that in the process?
It was nothing we haven't seen before. We've been facing games like that all year, so it was nothing new to us. We just had to stay composed and do what we had to do and play the right way, which is play our style of basketball. Don't get too sped up and don't get too slowed down. And obviously we did what we had to do. We fought and we came out with the W.
Jacob Schwartz.
To be able to say that, because there were questions just asked about that deficit, you really just kind of just went back and forth. How were you able to shut down UConn's bigs and guard play defensively?
Coach kept preaching we can't go back and forth with them. Like you said, we can't keep going back and forth with them. And he told us if we get a couple stops, we're gonna win this game. And I was just telling everybody in the huddle, just keep fighting, get some stops on the defensive end. And man, I'm proud of my guys. We did a great job, man, stopping those dudes, like you said, stopping their bigs and keeping their guards to a good pace where we wanted them to be at. So I feel like we did a good job.
Thank you.
Tim Best, please.
DJ, I just want to affirm, I know UConn, you talked about, wanting to shut down the notion that they were the favorites. By the way, I picked you guys before the tournament started. Let me just say that. But UConn started off hot, 13-2 start. I mean, they went for a first-round knockout right there. So how were you guys just able to just collect yourselves, get back up from that knockout punch, and come back the way that you did?
We know that basketball is a game of runs. They had some good runs. We had some good runs, but it come down to key stops, man. And I feel like we did a great job of stopping their main guy, which was James Bouknight. We kept him to the pace we wanted him to be at, and we did a good job with that. And obviously, we came out with the win.
Appreciate it, DJ.
Any other questions, Megan Caffrey?
DJ, your team has the opportunity tomorrow to play for a Big East title. I know you're coming off of this emotional win right now, but what are you guys looking forward to tomorrow night going up against Georgetown?
Just taking it one game at a time. We got to play Georgetown just like how we approach every game, and that's to play Creighton way and play the right way, and obviously get some stops. And we know we come into the game, we got to guard their bigs. We got to contain their bigs and contain their guards. They got nice guards with Blair and the freshman Harrison. We got to contain them and do what we can with Wahab because we know he's a force in the paint. So once we do that, we're gonna be good.
Damian, thanks for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
We're now joined by Coach Greg McDermott. Tomorrow night, Creighton will be making its third appearance in the Big East Final. They also played it in 14 and 17. Greg, if you'd like to make an opening statement, then we'll open it up for questions.
Just a gritty win by our team. People talk about our offense and how good our offense is, and it's just really hard to play offense against a team coached by Danny Hurley. They do such a great job of taking away your initial action. It's very hard to get things in transition because they're so disciplined. And then they meet you at the rim on any penetration. So, we had to win the game in other ways tonight, and that was on the defensive end and then on the backboards. So, for us to out-rebound a UConn team by 17, I think speaks to the grit and toughness that I have in that locker room as well.
We'll go to Matt DeMarinis with the first question. Matt?
Hey, Mac, I know Book Knight got 40 on you guys in that first matchup, but it seemed like Denzel started to figure out maybe how to guard him a little bit at the end of that first game. What did you see tonight in terms of how that carried over? Because it didn't seem like Book Knight was able to get into a rhythm at all.
Yeah, obviously we had never seen him to that point, and they hadn't played a lot of games. If you remember right, they were just coming out of a shutdown, I think, at that time. So there wasn't a ton of film. And you're right. Denzel did a great job the last 4 minutes of regulation and in overtime. Even though he had a huge game, he did a good job at that stage of the game. And we were made sure we showed him a few more bodies tonight, that he was seeing numbers as he was trying to turn the corner. And then when Denzel got in foul trouble, you got to tip your hat to Damian Jefferson. He hasn't practiced one rep guarding him, and we flipped him over there because we wanted that size and length. And DJ did a great job, especially the last possession. I think they were trying to get a quick 2. DJ cut off the driving lane, made him take a tough 3, and then we got fortunate that they missed a couple threes on those tip outs.
John Neotawa.
You kind of laid it out, Greg, that you knew what kind of game it would be against UConn, but I wonder when you're in the middle of it, especially when they jump out to a big lead, like do you have it kind of get after your guys a little bit to remind them how tough it's going to be in an atmosphere like that, or did they know?
Yeah, the first it was one of the first TV timeouts, and I just remember DJ saying, "Everybody just calm down. Everybody just calm down." And it's exactly what I was about to say, but obviously the meaning it has coming out of one of your leaders and captain's mouths, has quite an impact. And they were just forcing us to speed up because of their pressure. And we weren't creating any open driving lanes. We were standing on top of each other. And I think once we settled in to their physicality and their pressure, then we got back to playing a little bit more like we can play. Now, we didn't shoot it great, and obviously, UConn has a lot to do with that. But this is a hard team to play against, and all 3 games of scoring is tough to come by. So you have to figure out other ways to win.
Let's go back to Matt DeMarinis.
Mac, we've talked about DJ a lot throughout the year, but this is kind of the first time he's ever really played on a stage like this with kind of this much at stake. What impressed you so much about what he was able to do tonight? And then in that moment, where he's the voice that the guys are listening to as opposed to it being you?
I think what impressed me the most is he stuck with himself. He got us off to a great start, but then he had some turnovers to start the second half. He missed some threes and missed some shots at the rim, missed a couple free throws, but he stuck with himself, and he hits a big 3 at 53-50 to tie the game. And, that's a sign of a guy that gets it and understands who he is. But you ask me what I like about him, everything. He is developed into such a complete player, and what he does on the floor is just, it's only a small part of what he brings to our program. What he does in that locker room and what he means to his teammates, it's high level. So, he's a warrior, and I think I've said it before. I don't think we're going to realize exactly what he brings to us until he's not here anymore, because he does all the little stuff so well that you sometimes take it for granted. But when you watch it on film again and you see what he does and how he goes about it, you realize that he's a heck of a special player.
Final question, back to John Neotawa.
You guys were down by 5 with 5 minutes left, Greg. And I think maybe answer with a 9-0 run. Was there anything in particular you saw during that stretch that allowed you guys to flip the momentum there?
Well, DJ hit the big 3, and then we tried to get a slip with Christian, and they defended it, but we were still able to get it to him on the post. And we liked the matchup with Whaley there. Christian had some success at UConn in that second half inside as well. So, Christian was patient. They weren't going to leave the shooters, and he just made a nice little shot fake and ducked under and got a big basket. But, it was a defensive end that got us back in it, and a guy like Alex O'Connell plays 10 minutes and gets 8 rebounds, was flying around. So, with Sharif, getting hit in the head and having to sit out, we needed people to step up with the foul trouble we were in. Ryan Kalkbrenner gave us good minutes and just really, really proud of our team. This is that's a high quality team we beat tonight. And we're excited to play for a Big East championship tomorrow.
Greg, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.